Okay guys, so the first thing you need to know is that there's no magic sauce, there's no secret recipe, there's no amazing combination of questions that is going to help you hire the right VAs every single time. It's just like hiring traditional employees. You have to get employees in, you have to try them out, and then you have to let them go as soon as you realize they're not a good fit. However, there are a lot of different aspects when you're looking at hiring foreign VAs that a lot of people don't really understand or realize when they're either getting started or as they've been hiring VAs and they're trying to differentiate the problems that foreign VAs can have or the challenges that foreign VAs can have, and how that's different from traditional employees in westernized, modernized countries. And so we're going to take a deep dive into that. The first couple of things I want to talk about, though, are going to be that you guys need to make sure when you're hiring foreign VAs that they are passionate about what you do. Okay, they are passionate about what you do and they're passionate about what they do. If you're not hiring someone who's really interested in what it is that you're doing, your mission, and everything that you're trying to accomplish, it's just not going to be a good fit long term. And stickability is one of the best benefits of hiring VAs when you do it correctly. The second thing is you guys need to make sure that you're hiring based on tasks and not just on job descriptions or job roles. There is such a thing as language barriers with foreign VAs. You guys need to be conscious of this. And one of the things that can come into play is that they will say that they have skills for a certain job role when maybe they don't necessarily have all of those skills, or they don't have them up to the standards that you and I would expect coming from the West. And so that's because from different countries, there's different expectations and different ways of doing different jobs and different responsibilities that are required and everything else. One of the biggest tips I always give people when you're looking at hiring foreign VAs is create a list of tasks that you're looking to hire for, create a job position around those tasks that makes sense, and then when you're interviewing and creating your job descriptions and all that, make all of your questions and all of your details about those tasks. Do you like doing X, Y, and Z? Why do you like doing X, Y, and Z? Why are you passionate about doing X, Y, and Z? When you do this, you're going to hire someone who's a really good fit for the task that you're looking to get accomplished. Now, these foreign VAs, they're not going to sit here and try to lie to you and manipulate you. At least most won't try to lie to you and manipulate you and tell you they're good at something when they're not. Again, it's usually just that miscommunication. So if you can be direct and you can really focus on the task, that's going to help you make sure you're hiring the right person for the right set of tasks that you're looking to get accomplished. Now, obviously, make sure that those tasks make sense together. Make sure that it's not overwhelming for one person. So you should not be looking for a marketing manager, a social media manager, who's going to be writing copy, video editing, building your websites, and all of that kind of stuff. You need to make sure that the tasks make sense, they're not overwhelming, and that they are congruent with each other and the goal that you end up wanting to accomplish with your foreign VA. Okay, so let's get into the next kind of questions you need to ask. The next kind of questions you need to ask are behavioral questions. I learned a long time ago that you can train skill, you can even set expectations and boundaries as far as showing up on time to work and things like that. But the belief system of the employee, the belief system of the foreign VA is really going to dictate how well they perform for you as an employee. And so the best way to kind of get a prediction of how this is going to be is to ask behavioral questions. What are behavioral questions? Behavioral questions are going to be similar to like one of my favorites, which is, what is your morning routine? Now, I know that might seem a little off. I do like to put my own twist on things, and I do like to do things in my own way. But I think that's such a wonderful question to ask, because you'll notice that people that are more serious about their life, they're more serious about their goals and trying to accomplish the things that they want to accomplish, will tell you that they have a routine. They'll say, hey, I get up at such and such time, I read a book, I take a shower, I get dressed, I get ready, I do exercise. Whatever their routine is, they have a routine that they do pretty much every single day. They'll also tell you on days that I work, I make sure that I get up on time to do all that stuff and then have plenty of time to, get ready for work and turn on my computer and do all those types of things. Versus the people that don't really have a routine, or they say, I don't know, I kind of just wake up, or people will even tell you that they wake up at the last minute, and just kind of throw on a shirt and go to work. And, not that those can't be, functional, beneficial employees. We're all different. But when you're talking about hiring in general, you want to try to get the cream of the crop. And so this is one of those ways that you can do that. Ask behavioral questions, ask what they do in certain situations, ask questions that are going to lead you to what do they believe, what is their belief system about themselves, their life, and their goals. At least be a good indicator of how seriously they're going to take the role with your company. And is this just a short-term thing that they need? They're trying to get some cash real quick, or is they just using this as a stepping stone to, move on to a different position? Or is this something where they're like, hey, I want a consistent long-term position with a company that I enjoy working with, doing tasks that I enjoy doing, where I can grow, I can learn, and I can provide for my family. Most foreign VAs are going to be that latter category. They are looking for long-term, consistent, stable positions where they can support their families, they can take care of their responsibilities, and they can bring value and be appreciated. So definitely ask those behavior questions. If you're not, definitely start incorporating those. They are absolutely a game changer when it comes to taking a stack of 100 resumes and whittling that down to 5 to 10. You don't want to interview 100 different people. You want to take a stack of resumes, whittle it down, and just interview the few of the best. I'm glad you're enjoying the video. If you need help with hiring, training, or managing your VAs, make sure you click the link in the description below to check out our free VA hiring workshop. If you need one-on-one help with me, click the link to schedule an appointment to see how I can help. The last kind of question that we're going to focus on is actually going to be a little bit more personal for the foreign VA. And it's really going to be kind of their work environment. So when you're thinking about hiring foreign VAs in other countries, you have to understand that sometimes, like in Bali, there are outside circumstances that can't be controlled that will impact how the VA can work for you. And that's going to be things like internet. So for example, here in Bali, the internet sometimes fluctuates. It goes in and out. Sometimes it'll be down for 5 to 10 minutes at a time. Sometimes that happens 2-3 times a day. Sometimes it doesn't happen at all. It's just kind of random with how the cables are run for the internet here from Jakarta to Bali. And so you guys need to ask questions like where are they located, and not even just which country, hopefully you know that, but which city they're in. Do they have things like backup power? So, a lot of developing countries, power can fluctuate, especially during storms. So do they have a backup battery? And it's not that we necessarily expect them to keep working if there's a major storm and they have no electricity. But if you have programmers, for example, or copywriters, someone who's doing active, detailed work, you don't want the power to go out and them to lose all of their unsaved progress, okay? So having a backup battery, for example, can be a huge time saver and stress reliever when talking about power outages. Another question you can ask is, do you have a backup internet source? So a lot of times in developing countries, and not even just developing countries, but countries outside of the modernized West, they'll have multiple cell phones for different internet sources. And so maybe if their home internet goes out, or maybe if their first internet isn't working or runs out, they can switch to another phone and use that. Or maybe the signal isn't as good. Do they have options that way they can keep working with you, or at least not have long interruptions? There's nothing more frustrating than having a VA that you're really excited about working about, and then they kind of just disappear from you in the middle of the workday, or they disappear from you for a couple of days. You have no idea what's going on. And the way we're trained in the West is when an employee does that, it just means they're not interested. They're not showing up for work, they're being lazy, or they're being disrespectful, whatever it is. Basically, the main idea here is that you guys just got to take a minute. You got to understand the scenarios and things that can happen with your foreign VAs and their circumstances that they can't necessarily control, and have a little bit of patience with them. Most foreign VAs, again, they will not just disappear on you. If they do, it's usually a one-time thing that you can quickly correct with an expectation or boundary that's set. But you should be doing that in the beginning anyways. Asking these questions and having some preventative measures in place, whether you help supply some of these preventative measures, maybe you help pay for backup battery, extra Wi-Fi, or you just make sure that they have that, which is completely fine as well. It's going to save you a lot of time. And if someone is not willing to do that, or they don't have those things, or maybe they live in a city where it just has a lot of issues, like it really does not have fast, stable internet, that could be a good indicator that you probably need to move on or hire someone else. Obviously you can always try to help someone relocate, but I would not recommend doing that unless you've worked with them for a very long time, you have an immense amount of trust. But just move on to the next candidate that has everything set up. A lot of foreign VAs will move, and they will go from what is called like the provinces or the more rural areas to the bigger cities, to make sure that they have those stable internet and stable electricity, so that way they can work. A lot of times, even if you're paying a very low wage compared to a Western country, you're paying them a better wage than they could even get with a college degree if you're hiring from developing countries. And so they are happy to accommodate and make sure that they will be able to perform for you and have backup options just in case they need to. So at least that way they don't disappear from you. So guys, those are my top questions. Are they passionate about what they're doing for you? Focus on tasks and not just job positions. This will huge tip that will really make sure you're hiring someone who's a really good fit for the things that you need done. And then ask those behavioral questions. Make sure that they are believing that they are worth having a job with you, that they can deliver the responsibilities that you're giving them to you. And then the last thing is make sure that they have resources in place, or at least make sure that they're in a good area where they can have consistent internet, have consistent electricity, that they have the equipment that they need, a computer, a headset, whatever it is. Make sure that they have all of those things available, so that way they can function for you. Hey guys, that's the end of the video. Thanks for tuning in. If you got some value out of that, make sure you go ahead and let me know by leaving a like. I'd love to hear your thoughts, questions, and comments down in the comments section. And of course, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you want to see more videos. We release 3 videos a week, one on sales, one on marketing, and one on VAs. And of course, if you want to check out some of our services or products, check out the links in the description, as well as you can find information on one-on-one coaching and consulting with me, where we can dive into the specific strategies and solutions that you need in order to take your business from 6 figures to 7 figures, or low 7 figures to more 7 figures.